Mayong adlaw mga amigo, my name is MJ and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm joined with the author of Gamo Jr. and the Aswang clan, Andrew Pasaporte. Please introduce yourself and please tell us about your book and when it will be launched.
My adlaw everyone. My name is Andrew Jalbuena Pasaporte. I'm the author of Gimo Jr. and the Aswang Clan. So it'll be out on June 2nd at the World Trade Center for the Philippine Book Festival. The Philippine Book Festival will be from June 2 to 4.
Since authors are readers first, I wanted to ask the following question so that my viewers will know more about you and as a form of an icebreaker. So, the very first question which I wanted to ask you is what is the first book that got hooked you into reading? Like, what is its genre? And may I ask what made you love it so much?
I don't know which one exactly, but there's one
Mhm.
particular book. It's a classic. It's Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Yeah.
Oh.
So I read a lot of those classics when I was a kid, but that particular one, it had like an imprint. It left an imprint. So yeah, I think that's one of the most memorable book, if you can say. But with children's books, I have a lot of favorites as well. So Dr. Seuss. I don't know if kids right now still
Mm.
read Dr. Seuss. The Lorax, that was my favorite.
Yeah. And with Alice in Wonderland, I can totally see like some influences in your book as well because it is like mystical, right? Your book is
Mhm.
it is filled with mystery and fantasy. And of course, it is based in Filipino mythology, which is like it is compared to Alice in Wonderland, it has this same uncanny like stuff going on.
Right.
So I can totally see
Yeah.
like a little bit of connection there with your
Great.
favorite books. Yeah. So the next question, which I want to ask is, what book do you think nobody should die without reading? Like something that if other people will haven't read it yet, like you can say that they have missed a lot.
You know, there's a lot right now. I mean, of course, the classics like Tolkien, if you want to read Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, those are really, really great books for kids. I mean, you can die without reading them, but yeah, if
Mm-mm.
you can just grab a copy, try to find out what's all about. So yeah, and yeah, since I'm a
So it.
marketer also, I mean by profession, there's one book
Mhm.
that um, I could suggest. It's called Trust Me, I'm Lying. So it's all about
Oh.
going viral and getting your
Oh.
marketing across.
So I'm going to put that in my TBR because I'm a business major myself. So I'm very interested in
The
actually
reason why I
reading.
said that because it's just right beside me right now. So
So the last question I'm going to ask in this portion is what skill or special ability would you want to have if you could choose one from one of the characters like in a book? Like you can use your book if your main character has like a special ability.
yeah, so they have a lot of special abilities, being like a mythical creature. So yeah, flight probably. Yeah, flight. Yeah, would love to fly. Who does, right? Who doesn't, right? Pero wag naman mahating
Yeah.
katawan natin. Di po na maungo ka, manananggal ka, di ba? So
Very
there'll
basit
be
kayo na adlo kay basit na ade nagkuan og asin diya sa kilid. Nanisod pod
right,
siya.
right.
So this is the main portion. Like the following, the questions is part of the main course of this interview because it is about
Right.
you as a writer and about your book. So let's start
All right.
with about you as a writer because I have this habit recently of like watching YouTube videos about people writing their blogs. So the
Wow.
first question which I wanted to ask is how many hours a day do you write? What does it look like if you're going to have a vlog per se? If you're going to film it, like what does it look
It's
like?
going to be a lazy blog for sure. This particular novel, it took me about 2.5 years to complete this because I have
Mhm.
I have a day job. I also have other things to do. Also, I get distracted a lot. So I began writing this particular one in 2020. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as I said in previous interviews, it's a pandemic baby actually. Kanang I
Mm-hmm.
was I didn't do anything, I was filled with anxiety, probably do something with my time. So I just tried it. I tried doing a children's book at first. I was able to complete it and then I scrapped it because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like it. I also
Mm-hmm.
dabbled into illustration, drawing ba. Kanang so ako,
Oh, you're so talented.
no, I'm
Oh my
not
God.
talented like that. That's why I joined that course, thinking that I could do it. You know, some people when they think that, I could probably do that. That was me in 2020
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have anything to do. So probably
Mm-hmm.
sabi ko, let me just try creating a children's book and also illustrate as well. So nag-take ko classes and then I found out na parang di din ako siya talent. It's not, and basta pangit siya. So I didn't really release it to anyone. It's just there. Maybe one time I find an illustrator to do it, then let's do it. And then I stopped. I stopped. Right. So middle of 2021, I took a course in UP, which is art and child psychology, something like that. I think the subject was like that. And then the professor actually asked me if there was somebody in my life or somebody in the past who tried to stop me from doing creative things. And doon ako na-trigger, I was triggered because there was a particular person who actually stopped me from being creative. So, na-challenge ako ngayon. Sabi ko, I said, parang, let's try writing again. So, from July 2021 until December 2021, I would write at least about sometimes a chapter a day. Ano, chapter in 2 days. Ganyan. Ganyan. So mga ganyan. But siyempre on and off because I also have work. I was doing work remotely as well. But then
Mm-hmm.
after December 2021, the travel bans were lifted, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
traveled again. So I stopped doing everything. I stopped writing from January 2022 to probably December 2022 when I started again and completed it in February. So you can see the gaps in between. Yun. So kung
Yeah.
tinatanong, if you're, nangutana ka, if my blog would be an, tamad yun siguro kaayo, like maybe you'd see there like updated in 2021 and then updated again in
Mhm.
2022. I think that's the kind of writing that you would see me do just because I'm easily distracted. Probably it's undiagnosed ADHD. I don't know. I don't want to put a label on it. Pero, but it takes a lot for me to focus. Kung gusto dyan na ako, I will pursue it. And then if I lose interest, I'll do something else. And then just go back to it. So that's what happened to me with
Well, to be fair, masterpieces cannot be completed in a very short time. So that amount of time that you have
Thank
told me,
you.
that is very, very okay. And you are successful. You already have a book. So congratulations. Like, I'm
Thank you so
so
much.
touched by your story and the way your professor has inspired you to write again. That is so, so
Yeah, she did. She really
touching.
did. Yeah.
Mhm. Because usually in Filipino culture, a lot of like family members really discourage like the kids to pursue like the creative stuff. So hearing you having that bravery, having that courage to actually pursue your creative passion, it's really, really amazing. And thank
Thank
you
you so
for
much.
sharing
And
that.
I like talking about this with you guys, with like young kids like you, because I really want you to be empowered while you are still young. Ako, hinabol ko na lang to eh. Ako nang yung sa gitni when I was a little bit older na. And yeah, because there are some people that would like, yeah, like you're right, in Filipino culture, that would stop you.
Mhm.
For me, it was a teacher. It was a teacher actually stopped me. She called my parents to go to school, and I was reprimanded because, as she said, was I was disrupting the class for drawing, for drawing comic strips. And siguro kung if I if I pursue that, I could have been a comic book artist by now. But
Yeah.
see the effect that happens to young kids if like people are like stopping them do stuff.
So, okay, the next question which I want to talk about, because I have noticed that a lot of Filipino authors do this, but did you consider writing like under a pseudonym or like a writing pen if I like, Like that's what I've noticed kasi in like Filipino
When I
bookstores,
was
a
a
lot of
kid,
Filipino.
yes. Oo, when I was
Mm-mm.
a kid, yes. Because siguro it comes with age. You gain a lot of confidence. Where parang, bahala na ni, oy, parang I'm old enough, I'll just put my name out there and just go blah to the wall na, na judge siya. I mean, that's my name. But yeah, so yeah, it came to me as well na parang maybe just use a pseudonym, yan, ganyan. But no na. I mean, na naman,
Yeah.
but like, for it's
Well, but
forever, like they say, the internet is forever. So yeah, it's all out there.
the last question which I wanted to ask is when did you realize you wanted to be a writer? I think it's when your professor told you, or it was it like much later
No,
that you
I
wanted to
was
be a
actually
writer?
writing na when when I
Mm-mm.
was a bit younger. I was writing. I was uh, doing contests, all that. But it's so always been at the back of my mind to publish a book. Pero back in the day,
Mm.
back in the day, back in the day, um,
Parang
there were
like
not a lot of
30 years.
resources. No, there were not a lot of resources for people to publish a book. Ngayon, just Google it, how to self-publish, and then you'll find it. Madali lang. Unlike before, I mean, wala. Nobody's gonna tell you how to do it. People are gatekeeping dati. Wouldn't would just let out information. But right now, I mean, that's why I like the Gen Z, like the Gen Z people online. They don't gatekeep. Hatag jud. I mean, whatever info it's out there, maybe it was just right there. But ganahan pa man mo i-keep for yourself, so that more people can benefit. And just to tell
Yeah.
you, that's how I found publishing because of
Mm-hmm.
looking at what the young kids are doing. I I didn't um, actually tell anyone about this, but actually run a site, a parang blog site siya, that its parang push is towards literacy and reading for
Mm-hmm.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
Please do share the site to me so that I can share
Because
it to others as well.
it's nothing big. It's called Gully Books, where we share like children's
Mm-hmm.
books and like programs na ano like for reading literacy and ganyan. And then maybe 2 years ago, there was a flock of tweens, young people that were publishing their books. And then that gave me an idea actually about 2 years ago na parang, wow, wow, this nakakabilib. Parang there are a lot of people doing this now, and here I am, just still hanging on to that kid dream that I have. Tapos yun na nga. So
Well, at,
yeah, so there.
well, at least
After
you
that,
have achieved it now.
oh, sorry. Oh nga, thank you. So yun na nga, yung na-trigger ako when yung 2021. Yun na. Sabi ko,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the time that I just go put my name out there and just do it. So yeah. But yeah, just to answer
Yeah.
your question earlier, yeah, I was writing na when I was a kid. I was joining competitions for school competitions like para mga division,
Journalism.
regional, national,
Okay,
right?
so now let's talk about your book because this is like the very main part of this interview. So, in your own words, can you summarize your book in a paragraph? Because yes, I haven't read it yet, so I'm quite interested. Like at your own words, like what is it about? Because I've seen like summaries online, but I think it will be much better if it's coming from you because you're the author and you know it very well.
When I was writing this, I was influenced a lot of Stranger Things, of all those
Oh,
series and movies like
okay.
It, or like young kids in suburbia, having adventures. So it's kind of like that, with a mix of, I don't know if you're familiar with Disney's Descendants.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I love Descendants. Like I have watched like one, two, and three because I really
So I got inspiration from there as well. The kids of infamous villains, right?
yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
parang ganun din siya. It's kind of like that.
Oh.
So summary, ano pa, paano ba? So a boy finds out that he has powers and then has adventures all around town and even like outside of the town, then saving the day. It's all very typical. It's always streamlined such a way that
So
kids will easily digest what it's all about.
so it's a chosen one something like it's trope, like chosen one
So
type of
it's trope,
thing.
yes, exactly, yes, yes. Um, what's different from the usual tropes is that I injected a lot of pop references that
Mhm.
would probably be very familiar to the older set. So let's say you're a kid and then you're reading it. Okay, it's just fine. But when an adult reads it, they'll get a lot of like pop reference that they know from their time.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think that is very interesting. So very like um a little bit like Stranger Things, like 80s ganon or 90s ang na pop
Mga
culture
ganon, mga
references.
ganon.
So, most of the book reviews that I have seen online about your book mainly talks about it having similar vibes with Jano Silang, which is like another fantasy book which is based on the Filipino mythology as well. Um which I can also see what they're talking about. So, it has similar vibes. But can I ask as to what is the main difference between your book in comparison with Jano Silang? Like, I don't know if you have read that book yet. So if you haven't, we can skip this question if you want to.
I haven't read Silang, but I actually gifted my niece with
Mm-mm.
the graphic novel version. So I was able to
Mm-hmm.
actually scan the pages. Parang iba naman siya. Parang it's kind of different because the main characters in Gimo Junior are quite young. Young talaga sila. Tapos it's suburban, also
Mm-hmm.
the yun na nga yung mga pop references are not really pop references, like you'll see a lot of like references from older culture, like their ways. So one of the reasons why I wrote this is when I asked my pamangkins if they know Teniente Gimo,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know him. They don't actually know him. So that is why I'm trying to bring that yeah, the culture to the kids. So kaya nga sabi ko, parang it's like this Descendants because like there's an infamous character from lore, from Filipino lore, and then there's a junior who is going through these adventures. So medyo iba talaga, I think talaga sila. Like iba talaga.
The next question is if you will be given a chance to enter your book in like 24 hours, what character do you want to be and why?
Villain. I would probably go back as a villain. Go inside the book as a villain. You know what? Like in villains, not even books, like in series and movies, they live on, right? They live on,
Mm,
and they're actually
yeah.
they're always their names are on the title as usual, diba? So yeah, I'll probably be the villain.
And usually villains are more interesting sometimes, diba?
Yeah,
Because they have this twisted mindset, which is like you wanted to know like what are they thinking, like what are their thought processes. So I can totally see your
true.
point as to why you want to be
That's
the
true.
villain of your story. So the next question is, so I wanted to ask this because I greatly enjoy secrets within a book, like yung tipong mga fortune cookies or some sort like that, like parang mga subtle stuff lang na nakikita. So, have you hidden like fortune cookies or secrets within your book that we wanted to like look forward to?
Not really secrets, but like I said, parang a kid would read it and then a mom would
Mhm.
read it, it would have a different take. The mom would have a different take on it after reading the story. And it will bring a lot of memories probably.
So the last question is, what does literary success look like to you?
For people to appreciate your writing, of course, that's one thing. But um, I really wanted to put out something for the kids. Yun talaga. Ever since, parang I really wanted to do something for the kids. So yeah, so my definition of literary success, if for kids to accept it as good, wala na ako, bahala kayo mga adults. Basta as long as the young people love it, it's fine. I'd love that.
Actually, considering like the stories that you have told me, like when you're a child, um, I think you really have a great future as a middle grade author.
We
And I'm
thank
so
you. Thank you so
happy
much.
that I was able to interview you because you have a very, very great background when it comes to writing your book and the stories that you have told me today, that made me like want to support you more as an author. And
Salamat,
thank you
salamat.
so much for this interview. So yeah, I think that's it basically. Any more promotions for your book? Like you want to promote more in this
Right.
interview
So
before we're going?
yeah, thanks, MJ, and thank you so much for allowing me to be on your channel. And thank you for the podcast
Mm-hmm.
assistants for making this happen. Yeah, so the book is going to be available at the World Trade Center on June 2 to 4. I guess for the Philippine Book Festival, but it's also available online. If you want to order
Mm-hmm.
online, it's available at Eight Letters Bookstore. I think Eight Letters
Okay.
Books.com. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put the link of the website down below. It will be available rin sa Filipino bookstores or online lang muna for today, for this month.
For this month, which is about to end anyways, yeah, it's gonna be available online pa lang, and I think by the end of June, it will be available in no physical bookstores yet for now, but it'll be available at the at festivals, at fairs, and as well as
Okay.
on online bookstores in Amazon and all.
I think that's it for this interview. And thank you so much again, Andrew, for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Okay, the Zoom is giving me a notification that it's almost like an hour. But anyway, thank you so much again. And hopefully I'm going to interview you in the possible future. And thank you so much again. Goodbye everyone. Andrew, please say goodbye.
Bye, and thank you, MJ.
Okay. Bye guys. See you in my next video. Bye.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above.